Welcome back. We're here for lesson 51. So we're going to listen to the audio. First time, don't look, and then you will look after that.
Lesson 51.
The Wilsons are having dinner with the Joneses. Listen to the conversation.
So how are your children?
Everyone's fine, except our little boy who isn't feeling well. We took him to the doctor this afternoon.
Oh, too bad. What did the doctor say?
It's just a cold. He should be better in a couple of days.
That's good. I hope our children can play together later in the week.
Me too.
So how are your children?
Oh, that's
Everyone's
fast.
fine.
Okay, what did you understand? Not you. No, you too. Back there, anybody? What did you understand? Yeah, respond. We'll go like this. We'll go.
Then you.
And then me. Anything?
Some words.
Okay. An example? One word?
Afternoon.
Okay.
It's good. Too bad.
Too bad. Okay. Okay, good. Any context? What's going on?
Out.
Okay, Sophia, what did you understand?
It was a dinner, I guess, and the Johnsons were with the
Wilsons.
and
Cool people have that.
and they started talking about their children and
Chill.
children.
Atrás das chill. Yeah, children.
Children.
So every L, right? In American English, 99.9% of the L's. Chill. Chill. I've been watching, I just got on TikTok. I've been watching a lot of TikTok lately, and there's some British accents that are horrible. Children, and it's very, very strange. But in American English, 99.9% of the L's chill. Okay, they're talking about their children.
His little boy was sick. He has cold.
He has,
Not cold.
he has. Go.
A cold.
A cold, right? So we don't have cold. We either are cold or we have a cold. Okay, so either have which is resfriado, or we are cold.
And he said that
He what? He what? Okay, so the verb in the infinitive, say,
Oh, yeah.
says, said. Okay, so either he says. So there are two ways. When we're telling a story about something that happened, we can use the past or we can use the present. We use the present when we're like, he says, I go to him and he says, you gotta do this. If you want to put more emphasis, then you can use the present. But what happens? Either all the verbs are in the past or all the verbs are in the present. So either you go one way or the other. So in this case, you were using said. So what happens? Say, everybody say.
Say.
I say.
I say.
You say.
You say.
We say.
We say.
He says.
He says.
She says.
She says.
It says.
He says.
Okay? It says. When can we use it says? If there's a sign and someone doesn't understand the sign. What does the sign say? It says stop. Okay, so it says, that's a situation where we'll say it says. So he, she, it says. Now, everything, remember in the simple past, he said, I said, you said, everything is the same in the simple past. So I said.
I said.
He says.
He says.
You say.
You say.
We said.
We said.
He said.
He said.
She says.
She says.
She said.
She said.
Right? So she says present, he says, it says, but everything is said in the past. Okay, so what did he say? And then the question, right? What did he say?
That she took his little boy to the doctor.
She took his little boy? Why did she take his little boy? Did he know? Did she kidnap him?
No, to the doctor.
Right, but who took whom?
Wilson,
The Wilson, is it
Wilson
man or woman?
man.
Man, okay, so he took, right? Not she took.
What she did?
Yes, right, everybody?
She-
Witnesses?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was kidnapping, because she took his son. He's like, where's my son? Oh, I took him to the doctor. Okay, thank you, I think. Okay, so he took his son.
To the doctor, and the doctor said
Good.
that he has just a cold.
He just has a
He
cold.
just
Probably.
has a cold. And the Johnson, that is a man.
Yeah, not the Johnson. So here, if you want to say, probably it would be Mrs. Johnson, or
Mrs. Johnson.
if you want to show respect.
Mrs.
Or you
Johnson.
can, if you don't want to show respect, you can say the Johnson lady. That's kind of hella shot. The Johnson chick.
And she said, "Oh, cool, that's good."
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's look.
So how are your children?
Everyone's fine, except our little boy who isn't feeling well. We took him to the doctor this afternoon.
Oh, too bad. What did the doctor say?
It's just a cold. He should be better in a couple of days.
That's good. I hope our children can play together later in the week.
Me too.
We're not.
Did you took the coffee bottle? Did you see it? It was here from last Saturday.
I think it was. Did you look in the kitchen?
Yeah, it was here. But did you took it to?
Did you take it?
Did you take it to your phone?
I don't think so. But try and call Bob. Okay, so what did you notice this time that you didn't notice last time? What's notice?
Notar.
What? Perceber, notar, reparar. So what? Oh, notice?
I notice.
Notice. Yep. So Ana Carolina, what's something that you noticed the second time? Anything? So, você reparou, você entendeu tudo a primeira vez?
Assim, depois de ler, sim.
Okay, so-
Eu falo muito rápido.
Okay, so what did you understand the second time that you didn't understand the first time? Que você entendeu e reparou a segunda vez que não tinha entendido a primeira.
Except your
Okay, good. Except,
our
what's except?
except
Exceto, fora de,
feeling well também.
okay. Feeling well. Okay, that's good. Juliana, anything?
He asked the children and other men
So remember, a outra, o outro, so the
other.
other.
The other man.
Was it man or woman? Because it's a man and a woman, right?
Yes.
So the other person
Yeah.
in this
The
case?
other person.
Okay.
Say.
Okay, so the other person
Say.
said.
Said.
Said. Uh-huh.
Said a boy. A boy is cold.
Is okay, so is cold, what does is cold mean? Está com frio.
Is
So the boy, and in this case, said, passado, right? Had
a cold.
a cold.
A cold.
Had a cold.
And took him in the doctor
To the doctor.
to the doctor.
Okay, good.
And he's the good.
He's good. Okay, good. Okay, let's repeat. So how are your children? Everybody, so how are your children?
So how are your children?
Can you, Oliver, can you take a look, make sure it looks like it's pointed wrong? It's all good? But it's good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting this side too?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone is fine,
Everyone is fine
except our little boy,
except our little boy
who isn't feeling well.
who isn't feeling well.
We took him to the doctor
We took him to the doctor
this afternoon.
this afternoon.
Oh, too bad.
Oh, too bad.
What did the doctor say?
What did the doctor say?
It's just a cold.
It's just a cold.
He should be better in a couple of days.
He should be better in a couple of days.
That's good.
That's good.
I hope our children can play together
I hope our children can play together
later in the week.
later in the week.
Me too.
Couple of days é tipo em alguns dias.
Yes, a couple of days. This is something that is very important, because if I say a couple, what does a couple mean?
Casal.
Casal, right?
Casal de dias.
Yeah, casal de dias. So, a couple, casal, but can I say they have a couple of children, meaning one boy and one girl? Casal de filhos. Can I say a couple of children?
No.
I can say a couple of children. I like to say a couple is like os dois. They have a couple of kids, right? Mas não é casal. Casal, menino e menina. Casal só romântico. Então nós esperamos, talvez no sul dos Estados Unidos. Okay, so casal romântico. If you say they are a couple, it means, so look, there's Oliver and Sophia. They're a couple. It means they're dating. They are a romantic couple. Now, if we say there are a couple of kids, then it's dois. Usually we use it, it can be translated as dois or duas, right? So if I say I have a couple of kids, it can be a boy and a girl. It can be a girl and a boy. It can be two boys, or it can be two girls, because it's not one and one. It's not um casal de filhos. So the first time I heard, no, eles têm casal de filhos, I pensei, I can't believe it. What kind of people do we have in Brazil where they have a couple of children? Or their children are a couple. That's the difference, right? So if you say, I have a couple of kids. É quando você não quer ser específico. Tem a couple of kids. O exemplo que eu uso is if you, let's say, no, you're too young. Eliane and I went to high school together. Okay, we went to high school together, and then we're talking about John, our friend from high school, and I say, oh, have you seen John? Yes, I saw John. How is he? He has a couple of kids. Talvez dois, talvez três. It's not important. The exact number, exact, right? The exact number is not important. So a couple of kids, uns dois.
That's something that bothered me for a long time because when we see the subtitles, they always translate it as two, and I never use the couple as two
Exactly.
in English. Like, oh,
Exactly.
how long have you been in Brazil? A couple of weeks.
Yeah, then if you say a couple of weeks, they translate it in legenda, in subtitles, as two. But it means uns dois. Pode ser uma semana e meia, 2 semanas e meia. It's impreciso. It's imprecise. Imprecise, I think. It's not precise. Okay, so it's about. It's the same thing. Remember we talked about like mais ou menos. If you say a couple of weeks, it's like about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks can be a little bit less, a little bit more, okay, or around, about or around.
What does twice mean?
Good. Does anybody, that you might have heard, because you're a little bit younger. What's his name? Once, twice, 3 times a lady. What's I forgot his name. Lionel Richie.
Oh.
Once, twice, right? So once is the same thing as one time.
Third, okay.
3 times. So above this, so archaically, in archaic English, they had thrice. That you can see in Shakespeare, you can see, I've never seen it in the Bible, but you can see thrice in Shakespeare. It's archaic, we don't use it. Above 2 is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Okay? So there's not thrice and thrice and fice and sice. I don't know what it would be, but we don't have it. So 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Good question. Okay, good. So when we have a couple of days, if I ask, how long have you been in Palmas? A couple of days. What does it mean, a couple of days? Uns dias. Yeah. Literally, uns dois, mas uns dias. Now, what's the difference between a couple of days and a few days? Poucos dias, good. So usually a few is less than 5, right? Where a couple can be 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Okay? And when we talk about a few, it has to be countable. I have a few money? Nope. I have a few time? Nope. Remember, time, money, uncountable. I have a few water? Nope. Okay? If you say I have a few waters, mas daí você está falando do recipiente, não a água em si. I have a few waters, daí algumas águas, é como o português. If I have 3 waters here, and I say, I have a few waters. But if they fall on the floor, if it, spills all over the floor, I don't say, oh, my 3 waters are on the floor. Look, there's 3 waters on the floor. No, it's because water itself, in si, is uncountable. So, but we can count it, and then it could be a few waters, okay? So, I remember one more thing about a couple, and I just forgot it again. But, a couple, the difference between a couple and a few is a couple is more open. So, how long are you going to stay? A couple minutes, uns minutos, uns 2 minutos, okay? Now, if someone is coming to my house, I know in Brazil you can't ask, but if your mother-in-law comes to your house and you want to ask, how long are you going to stay? A couple of days, okay, uns dias, 2, 3, 4, right? A couple of weeks, then okay. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a couple of months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. It's open, right? You're leaving it open.
1 year.
1 year, right? A couple of years, then you're like, no, sorry. Bye.
I'm moving. Mom.
I'm moving.
Mother-in-law.
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 Right? So what does it mean literally? Mãe na lei. Ela não é sua mãe, ela é sua mãe só por causa da lei, porque você se casou com o filho dela. Sogra. Yeah. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, son-in-law.
Ah, muito mais fácil, porque nunca lembro. Sogro, genro.
No, I know. Can you imagine? I had to learn sogro, genro. I wanted to say, eu queria dizer sogro, sogra, genro, genra. Why not? Let's make it easy, right? Or nora, noro, right? Ou genro, genra, ou noro, nora. Right? Let's make it easy. No, it's got to be different. All these different words. But in-law, it's all in-law. It's easy, right? Father-in-law, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, son-in-law.
So,
Yep.
a few days, 5.
Below 5, usually. Usually below 5. Yep. So, if your son, so in the audio, the son has a cold. How do you say? Ele está doente. Eliane? Ele está doente.
He's sick.
He's sick. Agora, ele ficou doente. So, if he's already sick, what's already?
Already. Não foi assim.
As algemas.
Ah,
A minha aluna colocou, ela criou isso, algemas, right? Because it's hard to remember. Always, also, already, and I always forget one.
Almost.
Almost, thank you. So what are they?
As algemas.
Thank you. And what? They are, very good. So, what are they?
posso falar tudo?
Uh-huh.
Always, sempre. Also, também. Already, já. E almost, quase.
Okay? So, if he's already sick, se ele já estiver doente, if he's already sick, then you say he's sick. But what about ficar doente? So you don't say he's sick yesterday. You could say he was sick yesterday, mas se você falar he was sick yesterday, dá a ideia que melhorou. Não tá doente agora. What is ficar? How do we say ficar? Who remembers?
Stay.
Stay. Ficar is stay, but only when it's permanecer. Here, ele ficou doente ontem é permanecer?
Não.
No, it's not. So it's not stay. Ollie? Ele ficou doente. He got sick. Nosso amigo get. Verbo esquizofrênico. He got sick yesterday. What does that mean? That means that when we go, most of the time, when we go from one state to another, well, bem, to sick, doente, happy, no, let's not do happy, that's the one, I thought of that because that's the one that we don't. Hungry, com fome, to full, satisfeito, right? So, if you, ou satisfeito para fome. So, I got hungry. Eu fiquei com fome. I got mad. What's mad?
Bravo.
Bravo. I got mad. Eu fiquei bravo. Okay? I got thirsty. Fiquei com sede. So when we go from one state to another, we do not use stay, which is permanecer. We use the verb get. One more use of the verb get. I got sick on Monday. and stayed sick until yesterday. Okay, so this could be translated as eu fiquei doente na segunda, fiquei doente até ontem. And I have students that complain, English has too many words that have many meanings. What about ficar? Ou como eu gosto de fazer? Agora a Val não faz mais, mas quando nós nascemos, quando nos casamos, quando o nosso relacionamento nasceu, ela sempre fazia assim. Ela e as irmãs, demais. Oh, você acha? Eu disse que parece ganso. Tá chamando ganso? Okay, so I got sick on Monday and stayed sick until yesterday. So, eu fiquei doente, passei de são para doente na segunda e permaneci doente até ontem. Get sick, stay sick. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I'm sick. What are the kinds of sick, right? I'm sick. Oh, what do you have? I'm sick. What do you have? So, go ahead. Barbara,
Yes,
tell me that you're sick.
I'm sick.
What do you have? Usually, right?
I have a mental illness.
What do you have? Yes, I know. So, when I ask what do you have, it's usually like this. Oh, what do you have? Okay, o que você tem? So, what have we seen? O que nós já vimos? What have we seen? I'm sick. I have a cold, right? So, estou resfriado. I have a cold. I have the flu. Okay, I have the flu. The flu technically is influenza, but we use the flu anywhere you would use gripe. Yeah, we put it for everything, even if it's not influenza.
Fever tem alguma coisa que usamos também?
Huh?
Fever tem alguma coisa?
Okay, so fever, what's fever? I have a fever, right? So you can say I have a fever, or you can say I have the flu, because what's the difference between a cold and the flu in general? A cold, runny nose, right? In their head it's stopped up, or you have a chest cold, it's here, Usually no vomiting, or throwing up. Eu sempre achei estranho, você não vomita para cima, geralmente. Se for, você tem
I
problema.
sabia que vomiting is
So, to throw up, to vomit, no vomiting. Usually when you have a cold, you don't have a fever, usually. What else? Sore throat, maybe with a cold, but many times with the flu. But the interesting thing is that there are many viruses, right, that are not influenza, but we say I have the flu. It's like gripe. Gripe is everything. Estou resfriado, até eu tenho gripe quando eu estou resfriado. Eu não entendo como é que fica gripe e resfriado aqui. But almost anywhere you would use gripe, that's not a cold, then you would say flu.
Here in Brazil, nobody ever says resfriado, and nobody ever gets the flu here. They do, but not here in Palmas. It's really hard for somebody to get the
Na
flu.
minha também não coisa.
Yeah, so this is perfect for my mom. My mom thinks that she has every disease that she sees. So, on the internet, when she saw H1N1, she thought she had H1N1. gripe suíno, Ebola, Zika. I was like, Zika in Idaho? How do you get Zika in Idaho? Just kidding. But, so she always has the flu. She always has the flu. Okay. So, how would you say shifting gears? What's shifting gears?
Tá ali pra baixo?
So shifting gears, we say when we're changing subjects, you can say we're shifting gears. We're changing subjects. We're going in a different direction, okay? To shift gears is the infinitive. It can be literally shifting gears in a car or changing subjects to shift gears. Okay. So, shifting gears, how would you say, Ana Carolina, how would you say, eu gosto de palmas exceto o calor?
I like vowels, except.
Except. Except for. So we have two things. We have quente and we have o calor. Anna, can you refill my marker, please? Okay, so what is quente? Hot. But we don't say, até quando falamos português, eu não gosto do quente. Right? We don't say eu não gosto do quente. Eu não gosto do calor. So we have two different words here. O calor, the warm is agradavelmente quente, mas ainda é adjetivo.
Pera, como é que
The hot weather.
The hot weather, gostei. Não é o calor, mas é o tempo calor. Like that works. Tempo quente, yeah. So that works.
Como é que é minhoca?
Huh?
Minhoca.
Worm?
Ah.
Yeah. Warm, agradavelmente quente. Worm, minhoca. Ou verme, pode ser verme também. Ok. O calor, do you know? That's it. The heat.
Eu sei que você esqueceu o palavra.
Okay. So, I like
vowels, except.
Except.
Except for the heat.
Except for the heat. Okay. Except for the heat. Very good. I like vowels except for the heat. So, let's go the other way because I like Idaho. I like Boise except for the cold.
What is Boise?
Boise is one of the best cities in the United States. Boise, Idaho.
Boise, Idaho.
Look it up. It's awesome. Tem quase tudo que uma cidade grande tem, só que é uma cidade de 200 mil. Well, o Vale tem 200 mil habitantes. Okay. So, frio is what? Cold. O frio, aí é mais fácil do que calor, porque é a mesma coisa só lá na frente. So, I like Boise except for the cold. Hot, the heat, cold, the cold. And then I have a cold. So the important thing a cold, right? Noun, substantivo, noun, because of a cold. So like we were talking about, I have a cold, but I am a cold, no, and I cold, no, I have a cold, or I am cold, but not I have cold. What did we? Uh-huh.
Can I use, I have a flu or
The flu. Yeah.
The flu.
Yeah, because even though literally there are many kinds of flus, right? Swine flu, H1N1, whatever, you know, there are many kinds, but we just say the flu for everything. Good question. Juliana, how do you say reparar? Do you remember?
Reparar.
Notar, reparar. Repair é reparar de consertar.
Consertar.
You remember?
I know the other word, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Eliane, eu reparei o frio, o calor, quer dizer?
Notice.
Yeah, foi você que pediu a pronúncia, right? So, reparei. Everybody, I noticed.
I noticed.
Not noticed. Noticed.
No.
I noticed what? I noticed what?
The hat.
The hot?
The hat.
No.
The hat.
She lived there. Yeah. The heat. Everybody, heat.
Heat.
What's this?
Heat.
Eat. What's this?
Heat.
É só colocar rã na frente de comer. Não é bom comer alguma coisa fria. Nope. So, good question. Good question. This is the #1 Brazilian killer.
Yeah.
Som assassino.
My mom is watching this.
Heat. I de igreja.
Read.
Hit.
Hit.
Hit, right? It is. Say it is.
It
It is it, not e. Okay? That's the #1. That difference between it and e. Everybody, this.
This.
This marker.
This marker.
These markers.
These markers.
Same sound. I, e. Okay? So what happens? This, let's do these. Everybody, these.
These.
These. To the sides, right? E. Aos lados. These. This. Se imaginar vindo de cima. This. Não sei por que funciona, mas funciona. This. Okay? So this and these. And that's the difference. Heat and hit. It. Heat, hit. Agora, o calor bateu. Como é que seria? O calor bateu na cidade.
The heat hit in the city.
Hit the city. Yeah. The heat hit the city. Everybody, the heat hit the city.
The heat hit the city.
Now hit. The heat de igreja. Heat. Remember, how do you, now existe, mas como é que seria o comer? The eat, right? Everybody, the eat.
The heat.
The eat.
The heat.
The heat.
The heat.
The heat
The heat.
hit
Hit.
the city.
The city.
The heat hit the city.
The heat hit the city.
Better, good. The heat hit the city. Good question, Sofia. Ok. Como está o tempo?
Okay.
Oh, anybody?
How's
How's the weather?
What's the weather like?
Oh, weather. Now weather. Okay. What's the weather like? Or how's the weather? What's the weather like? How's the weather? Okay. Tá quente. Tá frio, tá quente, it's hot, it's cold. Now, when I ask my students, what kind of weather do you like? Juliana, what does it mean? What kind of weather do you like?
It's warm.
But o que significa? What kind of weather do you like?
Repeat.
What does it mean? O que significa? What kind of weather do you like?
What kind
Of weather
of weather
do you like?
do you like? O tempo que eu gosto mais?
Yes. Okay. So, when I ask what kind of weather do you like, my students usually say, I like the cold. I like the cold.
What kind?
Que tipo? What kind? Right? So, I like the cold. No, you don't. Because hot is usually too hot, cold is usually too cold. So we have what I call agradavelmente frio, agradavelmente quente. Warm and cool. Warm and cool. So, tempo fresco. Cool, right? You don't say, I have a student who is intermediate, and he translated his hand, he said, the weather was very fresh. Fresh, right? Okay, fresh. We don't use fresh for weather. We use fresh for fish and food and other things, but we don't use fresh for weather. Cool is what we use when we want to say fresco. Okay? And warm é aquela coisa quente, but agradavelmente. É morna. Como meu companheiro baiano tentando falar para mim, lá no sul, sabe, bem frio, right? Chuveiro estava quebrado, não estava pegando, estava no meio do inverno. E daí ele queria saber se estava funcionando ou não. E ele perguntou, a água está morna? Ele era baiano, né? A água está morna? 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 Não está frio, está morna? Oh, morna? Morna. É que eu aprendi no sul, né? Morna. Daí ele fala morna. Okay.
So how would you answer it?
So, it depends if it was working. I would say, no, it's very cold.
No. No, like, what kind of weather do you like?
I would say, I like warm weather.
I would say that too.
Yeah, but most people here say, I like cool weather.
But we can't say that without the weather.
Unless you say, yeah.
It's weird.
Não existe o substantivo para cool ou para warm. Tá certo. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so tem que colocar weather com esses porque não tem substantivo e também não tem the hot, right? Aí tem que ser the heat.
Yeah.
Aí the cold down. Papelada. How do you say papelada? Shifting gears.
No, sorry.
Paperwork. What'd you say?
I was just shoot.
Paperwork. So, preencher. Papelada. To fill out. Paperwork. To fill out paperwork. To fill out formulários. To fill out forms. Not formularies.
O que seria to fill out?
To fill out, preencher. So, to fill out when it's the whole form, a forma inteira, formulário inteiro, okay? To fill in the blank, por exemplo, prova de inglês, fill in the blank, o branco, preenche o branco. So, to fill out é a coisa inteira. To fill in são a parte em branco, geralmente não é o formulário inteiro ou a prova inteira. So,
When I say cool, the weather always together, cool and the weather.
Or cool weather.
But only cool, legal.
Right, good. Yeah, well, and it depends on the situation. How's the weather? It's cool, right? Mas daí o problema é que pode ser legal, pode ser agradável ou fresco. So, yeah, fresh. Depends on the context. Yeah, but in general, you usually say weather with cool. Yeah, good.
Because cool is not substantivo in this whole, well, it's never. It's not like the cold, pode ser substantivo. Cool is cool weather. I'm giving weather the characteristic.
Very good. Okay.
But I can use cool out the context the weather.
Outside, yeah, if it's legal. Yep.
Example, do you like the music?
It's cool. Yep, very good, yep, very good. Yeah, cool, the thing with cool though is sometimes it's like massa, right? When I was teaching in 2000, all the kids were saying, que massa. Then when I came back in 2009, nobody said massa. And now I notice people are saying massa again. So cool sometimes goes in and out of use, como massa, como de. Rad, quando eu me lembro, quando eu estava na sexta série, todos os alunos da sexta série foi para o acampamento. E rad foi uma das coisas nas canções que nós fazíamos. Daí caiu completamente, daí agora voltou, recém voltou, rad para cool. É só cool, mais um jeito de dizer cool, bacana.
What frequently used?
What is frequently used?
More.
I would say now rad. The thing is, I've been
Today.
yeah, I've been in Brazil for 6 years. I don't know.
I think it's cool.
Cool.
Like on TV, at least.
Cool é aquele que não sai completamente. So, cool pode usar, tem algumas, não é tão legal dizer cool, às vezes, dependendo da década ou alguma coisa assim, mas nunca sai completamente. Mas tem dope também, mas isso é de uns 10 anos atrás, tem que ser, como é que se eu falar, se eu vou parecer velho, se eu vou estar dentro, né? It's like bro, right? Bro é um também, porque o surfista sempre usa, mas se nós usamos não, às vezes está dentro. Bra, yeah. What are you talking about? Yes, why? Okay, todos os dias? Every day? O dia todo?
All day.
All day. The difference between all and every. All é tudo, todas as partes de uma coisa completa. Okay? I ate the whole pie. Okay? Oops, I ate, that's not what I wanted to put. All of the pie. Which means tudo que tava, right? So if there are 4 pieces, I ate all 4. If it's all of it, I ate all of it. The complete pie. I ate the whole pie. Then completo. So here I could be completo, or it could be just half. Yes, whole.
Inteiro.
Yes. Inteiro, yeah.
So if I say I ate every pie.
Yes, good. So I ate
Every pie I see.
every pie. I saw, se foi I ate, right? Okay. I ate every pie, comi todas as tortas. I ate every pie. So there is a tendency to use all too much. Nem tudo que é tudo é all. Porque não é todas as coisas de uma parte de coisa. Que tal uma torta?
Podia ser usando what about.
How about a pie? Could be what about, depending on the context. Até pode em algumas situações, what do you think about? O que você acha de? Que tal você? What about you? How about you? I like pie. How about you? Fique à vontade.
Make yourself at home.
Ok? Fique à vontade, se sinta em casa. Se faça em casa. Make yourself at home. Or make yourself comfortable. Pode ser também usado at home ou comfortable. Se faz confortável. Agora, fique à vontade. Eu posso usar o seu banheiro? Can I use your bathroom? Fique à vontade. Feel free. Se sinta livre para usar o banheiro. Feel free.
Não livre demais.
Huh?
Não livre demais.
Não, yeah. Oh, você se sentiu muito.
Sinta-se em casa, mas lembra que a casa é dele.
Mas caso de outro, não a minha. Eu não me lembro dessa, mas. Are you allergic? Que isso? Será que eu coloquei isso? Você tem alergia? So, ter alergia. To be allergic to something.
To be
Allergic?
allergic.
Yes. To be allergic to something. Ter alergia.
Allergic.
I'm allergic to bee stings. I'm allergic to bee stings. O que significa? Eu tenho alergia de abelha.
Nossa, eu vi filme, será?
Bem.
Bee. Bee. É mesmo de to be? Bee. E como se diz quando é plural? Bees.
É picada como?
Sting. To sting. É o que abelha e scorpions, thank you. Bees and scorpions sting.
Snake.
Snakes bite.
Raise.
Rays. Did they say sting? I think, yeah, stingrays. Yeah, they sting. Stingrays sting. Unless they're the electric ones, then they shock.
I've never heard of it.
Electric rays?
No, electric rays, but okay, I was just thinking about the stingrays.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of a stingray electrocuting anyone. No, I haven't. And I've never heard of an electric ray stinging anyone, but maybe they could.
Insect.
Insect. Or, so tem o técnico que é insect e o usado no dia a dia pelo povão, bug. Bug. Yeah. So, what is a bug? Is it a car? What kind of car do we call a bug? Anybody know? Fusca. Is Volkswagen Beetle. Beetle is what is a beetle? Besouro. So that's a beetle, but we call it the bug, Volkswagen bug, because it looks like a beetle, looks like a bug. Parece inseto. Volkswagen bug.
Punch buggy. You've never heard of it? Oh, it's
Love bug. But,
punch buggy. It's like every time we see a buggy, we punch each other.
slug bug. That was probably in the south. Where we were, it was slug bug, because slug is another way to say to hit.
Okay.
So they would go slug bug.
Pode ser tipo mosquito picar.
So mosquito bite. Yeah. I think because sting is usually fast, right? And a mosquito sits there. Okay, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to give us a like and check out the other videos and subscribe. Thanks and goodbye. Bye.
Today, the class was very, multi,